Swing interview questions and answers. Beginner means advanced. Introduction. Swing is a GUI toolkit in Java used for building desktop applications. Swing is part of the Java Foundation classes, JFC, and is widely used for check, desktop applications, check, GUI development, check, enterprise tools, check, internal business applications, check, educational software. Swing provides check, platform-independent UI, check, rich GUI components, check, event-driven programming, check, customizable look and feel, check, MVC architecture support. 120. Swing basics. What is Swing? Swing is a Java GUI toolkit for building desktop applications. What package contains Swing classes? javax.swing. Why use Swing? Platform independence, rich UI components, customizable interfaces. Swing versus AWT. Swing provides lightweight and more advanced components than AWT. What is GUI? Graphical user interface. What is JFrame? Top-level application window. JFrame example. JFrame frame equals new JFrame. What is JPanel? Container for grouping UI components. What is JLabel? Component displaying text or images. JLabel example. JLabel label equals new JLabel. Hello. What is JButton? Clickable button component. JButton example. JButton button equals new JButton. Save. What is JText field? Single-line text input component. What is JText area? Multi-line text area component. What is JCheckbox? Selectable checkbox component. What is JRadio button? Single choice selection component. What is JCombo box? Drop-down selection component. What is JList? Displays list of selectable items. What is container in Swing? Component capable of holding other components. What is Layout Manager? Controls component arrangement. 21 to 40. Layouts and event handling. Common Swing layout managers. Flow layout, border layout, grid layout, box layout. Flow layout example. Set layout, new flow layout. North, north, south, east, west, center. Grid layout example. New grid layout 2-2. What is event-driven programming? Program responds to user-generated events. What is Action Listener? Handles button menu actions. Action Listener example. Button.add action listener. E. What is Event Object? Object containing event information. What is Mouse Listener? Handles mouse events. What is Key Listener? Handles keyboard events. What is Window Listener? Handles window events. What is Anonymous Inner Class? New Action Listener. What is Lambda expression in Swing? E equals system.out.println. Clicked. What is Event Dispatch Thread? EDT. Main Swing UI thread. Why is EDT important? Prevents UI concurrency issues. What is Swing Utilities Invoke Later? Swing Utilities Invoke Later. / What is thread safety in Swing? UI updates should occur on EDT. What is Repaint? Repaint. What is Revalidate? Refreshes layout changes. What is Custom Painting? Drawing graphics manually in components. 41 to 70. Advanced Swing components in graphics. What is Graphics class? Used for drawing shapes, text, images. Paint component example. Protected void paint component graphics G. What is Graphics 2D? Advanced Graphics API. What is JTable? Displays tabular data. JTable example. JTable table equals new JTable. What is Table Model? Data model for JTable. What is JTree? Hierarchical tree component. Adds scrolling capability. What is JMenu bar? Menu bar container. JMenu example. JMenu file menu equals new JMenu file. What is JToolbar? Toolbar container. What is JOption pane? Pop-up dialog utility. JOption pane example. JOption pane show message dialog null. Done. What is modal dialog? Dialog blocking user interaction. What is JDialog? Custom dialog window. What is JSplit pane? Divides window into resizable sections. What is JTabbed pane? Tabbed container component. What is look and feel in Swing? UI appearance customization. Common Swing look and feel. Check, metal, colon, nimbus. System look. Nimbus example. UI manager.set look and feel. What is MVC in Swing? Model, view, controller architecture support. What is model in Swing? Data representation layer. What is renderer in Swing? Controls component display appearance. What is editor in JTable? Component for editing table cells. What is drag and drop support? Moving data between components interactively. What is image icon in Swing? New image icon img.png. What is double buffering? Reduces screen flickering. What is focus handling? Managing active input component. What is keyboard shortcut support? Key-based action triggering. What is accessibility in Swing? Support for assistive technologies. 71 to 100. Advanced Swing concepts and best practices. What is Swing Worker? Background task utility for Swing. Swing Worker example. New Swing Worker, void. Why use Swing Worker? Prevent UI freezing. Prevent background processing. What is concurrency issue in Swing? Updating UI from non-EDT threads. What is serialization in Swing? Saving component, application state. What is desktop application deployment? Packaging Swing apps for users. Common deployment methods? Jar files, installers. What is executable jar? Java-jar app.jar. What is MVC benefit in Swing? Check. Separation of concerns. Check. Maintainability. What is memory leak in Swing? Unreleased listeners, components consuming memory. Event handling. Layouts. EDT. JTable. Custom painting. Common Swing problems. UI freezing. Threading issues. Layout problems. Best practices for Swing? Cup. Use EDT properly. Cup. Separate UI business logic. Cup. Avoid blocking UI thread. Swing versus JavaFX? JavaFX is newer with modern UI capabilities. Comma. Legacy enterprise apps, desktop tools, internal applications. What is responsive Swing UI? UI adapting to resizing and user actions. What is docking framework? Dynamic window arrangement support. What is custom component in Swing? User-created reusable UI component. What is observer pattern in Swing? Event listener communication mechanism. What is undo-redo support? Reverting user actions. What is printing support in Swing? Printing Swing component/documents. What is file chooser? JFile chooser equals new JFile chooser. What is desktop integration? Interaction with operating system features. What is clipboard support? Copy-paste functionality. What is localization in Swing? Multi-language support. What is high DPI support? Scaling UI for modern displays. Up. Build desktop apps. Practice layouts and events. Understand EDT deeply. Biggest Swing interview concept. Event-driven desktop GUI programming. Key Swing interview focus. Components, layouts, event handling, threading, and GUI architecture. Why is Swing important? Swing remains widely used in legacy enterprise Java desktop applications. Swing interviews focus on Swing components, layout managers, event handling, event dispatch thread, JTable, and advanced widgets. Custom painting, concurrency with Swing Worker, desktop GUI architecture. Key idea. Strong Swing developers understand event-driven GUI programming, thread-safe UI updates, and scalable desktop application architecture.